Greetings, all you samurai out there. I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and I'm coming at you with another Samurai 8, The Legend of Hachimaru, chapter review. This time it's chapter 11, titled, Are You Mocking Me? Which I honestly kind of love that title. It's just like, are you mocking me? Like, are you fucking shitting me right now? Honestly, Ada, kind of has become one of my favorite characters in this series just because of his personality, which really glows in terms of this chapter. Like, Ada just really has something to him that has really kind of taken me with him. But getting into the review of the story proper, when Ada came down, he fucked up Daruma. Just almost annihilated him. Like, Daruma is wrecked and he's not really able to move. Meanwhile, Dr. Furuto's just like, how the fuck did you find me, G? But Ada's just like, well, we struggled, but Hachikaku, became a samurai spirit, and, because of that, I was actually able to detect him. Because of that, Princess Neri was able to detect him, Ada's princess. So it shows that Hachimaru actually becoming a samurai ended up really getting in the way of Dr. Furuto's plans. Meanwhile, Hachimaru's just like, Dad, you know that person? But Furuto, secrets, gotta keep them secrets. Like, God forbid you actually tell your son something. But Furuto has something prepared for this, just in case. Something in order to protect the whole entire galaxy from Ada. Meanwhile, Hagamichi, goes in and tries his best to protect Ann from any kind of danger. But, Daruma, he lays it all out on the line. It's just like, yes, Ada was unrivaled and a former member of the I still can't pronounce that, Vajrayaska school. He was one of Daruma's pupils. And, Ada, takes this moment, just showing that he's a very interesting character. He just, bows to his sensei. It's just like, I did not recognize you. I didn't recognize you at first, but when that blow from earlier kind of cued me in on something. And apparently, Daruma has always looked like this for the most part. But the thing that Daruma's really questioning is what the connection between Ada and Furuto actually are. Suddenly, this kind of black spirit thing kind of pops out of Daruma's chest because he got wrecked and he's still trying to kind of revive for the most part. And this thing kind of pops out of Daruma and it rolls a little bit into the crater that Ada made. And Daruma's kind of taken aback by how much that Ada's not really kind of making a true move. But, Daruma takes it and says that, oh, this belongs to the Suma school. And he says like, I'll take it with me. And he apologizes to Daruma because of something that happened to a Princess Baku. So we're getting a lot of setup for Ada and Daruma's past history. Like, there's a lot of history here. Apparently, Kishimoto went on to say in an interview that he really regrets not setting up more in terms of Naruto, but man, he is setting up a lot of things. Like, it really does feel like, really far down the line, I'm gonna look back on a lot of this and be like, oh, okay, that was this was that, this was that, this was that. I still kind of have a problem with that because I'm just like, I feel like you're really expositing a little too much without any real payoff coming from this, because it really doesn't feel like anyone besides Ada and Daruma or even Furuto are really affected by some of these things. We're only given so much information in regards to any of this. But, Hachimaru, seeing that, things seem to be on a good, even footing for him, in terms of Ada and Daruma, goes in to try to talk to his master, but he talks to him in a very casual way, which immediately pisses off Ada. It's just like, is that any way to talk to your master? So, Hachimaru's kind of taken aback, because it's just like, okay, a strict senior disciple. But, Ada actually takes a good look at Hachimaru. It's just like, oh, that's weird. Your hair color is different, but you're pretty much identical to the 7 others. So, showing that Hachimaru is in fact one of the 8 keys in total, or 7 or whatever. It's really hard to keep track of that. Like, I originally thought the very individual samurai would be the keys, but finding out there's so many out there in the world kind of gives me the impression that, okay, maybe being a samurai is a lot more different than I initially thought in terms of this world, in terms of just how many samurai can really exist at any given time. So there's definitely something very interesting about Hachimaru and his existence as a whole. But Ada gets ready to take Hachikaku, as he continues to call him. It feels very like early Dragon Ball Z-ish, with Raditz coming to Earth and being like, Kakarot, you will come with me and we will conquer the Earth. It's just like, dude, my name's Goku. Pleasure to meet you. Like, just a very interesting situation. But, Ada exposits that, okay, my wish is to attain you and use you to restore this galaxy to its original state, and you're one of the keys I need for this task. But, Hachimaru's just like, wait, what? No, I'm not going with you. I wish to become a great samurai. Which immediately gets Ada scoffing at him. It's just like, you become a samurai? Oh, please. It's like, that's not you. Already Ada and Hachimaru are off to a bad start. But apparently, Daruma is really starting to charge up, getting ready to go back on the offensive, but he's having a hard time repairing his body for the most part. Meanwhile, Ada starts to kind of get in close to Hachimaru and really kind of reads him the riot act. It's just like, oh, you're a big talker, you talk nothing but nonsense, you're a weakling, you're a braggart, and someone like you could never become a true samurai. And Hachimaru doesn't really dispute this because of a lot of the situations that he's been in recently. He's so desperate to look good in other people's eyes that all he's done is lie and talk tough. But, while he is in a very serious battle, he wasn't ready for this. He just kind of fell into this situation, and he got lucky on a few different occasions, and I was just like, you don't possess true courage, you are nothing. And so Ada draws his blade, but a very interesting moment where Dr. Furuto and Hayataro step in, but Anne does as well, showing that she's definitely got a little bit more guts to her than I originally thought. Whether she'd actually be able to do anything to stop Ada is another story, but I do enjoy the fact that Ada really has this menacing aura to him that you immediately start worrying about other characters' lives when he's unleashed for the most part. But Hachimaru starts to think that, okay, he starts to think about Anne and how she looked up to him to be on his level, but she's already showing a lot more promise in terms of who she is than, someone like Hachimaru initially did. But in comes Hagamichi, clad in his armor, ready to take down Ada, but he's immediately taken out of the picture and pinned to the sliced in half golem. And Ada really starts to just kind of exposit a few things that, I guess Kishimoto really wanted to keep, on the DL until a certain point. But it's just like, samurai aren't immortal. We do, in fact, die. And in fact, we die during the initial ceremony in order to become samurai. But we die again when the god of war no longer smiles on us on the battlefield. So, you're given strength by the god of war, and when you're defeated and you ultimately die, that means the god of war has abandoned you for the most part. But it also seems like you can still kind of keep going for it. It's really kind of hard to tell, because it's just like, what does that really mean? Do you actually truly gain power from that, or is that simply the entry level stuff? But Hagamichi is pinned, and Ada is just like, the god of war is fickle, especially when it came to the life of a brat like you. But Hachimaru really kind of starts to get desperate for the most part. He's all too ready to step in and prove Ada wrong, but Dr. Furuta is just like, oh, don't you kids worry, I will protect all of you, I will be the one to defeat Ada, which, Ada's just like, what? You're just a human. Why are you bluffing? Why are you yapping? You betrayed our plans, and it's time you died because of that. So, Ada just goes in for the strike on Dr. Furuta, only for Furuta to activate the device that he embedded in his chest, which seemingly starts to suck in Ada's physical form, which, really takes everyone off guard that such a creation could really exist. But, Fu, went underground in order to keep that a bit of a secret. Nowadays, it's just like a lot of the stuff that Fu grows. A lot of the stuff that we see nowadays isn't just Furuta. A lot of stuff that we see Furuta create is kind of into question. What did he develop? What is he trying to do? Why did he abandon Ada? What is the connection between the two of them ultimately? And just how much of an influence did Furuta have on Ada? But as Ada, and you gotta remember this is a fragment of Ada, as that fragment starts to be sucked in, Ada's a little bit taken aback that Furuta would, really go this far in order to stop him. And as we see this massive bright light, we see that while Furuta did manage to kind of destroy a little bits of Ada, namely his lower section and half of his face, Ada is still in the game and ready to throw down, because he's just like, you thought that was enough to take me out of the picture? I'm too badass for that. So honestly, Ada is really kind of becoming the Zabimaru, I guess you could say. That one character that just really set a precedent going forward in terms of fights and combat and all that, because he just really feels fun and interesting, and he's very overpowered. But now that he's been weakened, Hachimaru can step in and show a little bit of what he's got, so that could be fun as well. But a very fun, interesting chapter, lots of exposition. It's interesting to see the connection between someone like Furuta and Ada. It's just like, I really wonder how far that goes back, and what would have happened had they never met. Maybe Adam might have gone down a different path, or he says something a little bit more deeper than that. You really have to wonder, but I'm tired as all hell, so hey, I'm starting to drift off here and there. So tell me your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. What did you think about the power that Ada displayed here, just in terms of abilities and all that, and how he stacks up against someone like Daruma, who uses, who also seems to be a very powerful in terms of this world, with the only reason he got taken out of the picture is because he was in an inconvenient place. So that shows you not to be inconvenient. But tell me your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. How did you feel about this chapter and my constant drifting off on a mental state? I'm just kind of drinking a little bit of that Joker Kool-Aid, but definitely tell me how you felt about these, various overpowered characters just coming into the world like this. It's almost like an alien invasion. Ooh, Area 51. But I'm interested, I'm invested, and I want to see where it goes next. If you like this video, leave me a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike. I'll understand, because I'm halfway into passing out and I think I started to kind of mumble weird things here and there, so feel free. But I like this chapter as a whole. I want to dip stuff into that, I want to dip more into the lore and the legends of this world to see kind of where things can truly go, and even create more of my own personal stuff. But definitely tell me how you felt about this chapter. Like, dislike, all that good stuff. Subscribe and hit the bell icon, that way you never miss out on more coherent Samurai 8 chapter reviews. And if you want to find me on social media, just Google Duuz-Diz-Din. I'm everywhere, for better or for worse. And until the next video, you just gotta remember to treat everyone with a little bit of respect. You never know who might be set off the deep end. Until next time, I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and it really is time for me to go to bed. Sorry about that, and good night, everybody. Mwah.